People reach out to us all the time about the finances of a divorce. Hi, everyone. This is Paul with Youngblood Law. This is another in our series of things that you should plan and think about ahead of time before you file your divorce. The finances of a divorce really can get broken into two main categories. One, obviously, is how do you pay for the divorce itself? How do you pay for the legal proceedings, right? So you've got to pay a lawyer, you've got to pay the court cost and other associated fees with the that the state or the county charges for for the divorce. You may have to have a process server go and hand your spouse the divorce papers. So and that costs money. So how much does a divorce cost? Well, divorces can be somewhat expensive. They don't have to be super expensive. We've done a bunch of cases where the whole divorce was less than $2,000, fees and all. We've also had some, divorce cases that took a long time, a lot of work, and they cost well over $20,000. And look, we're not the most expensive firm in town. And we're also not the cheapest. We have no desire to be the low price leader in our community as far as divorces. What we do care about is giving the most value per dollar. And so we always recommend to our clients the course of action we think is the most beneficial for our clients. And some of those, the more work a lawyer does on your case, the more your divorce costs. But we always want to weigh the expected outcome versus the cost to make sure there's a good return on investment. For instance, I don't want to get all into what discovery is all about, but discovery can be a really expensive endeavor as far as a legal proceeding or a legal process within the proceeding. And so we would only recommend doing a big, robust discovery when we think there's enough useful information to come out of the other side that it pays for itself. Some firms will issue discovery just as a matter of course, regardless of the size of the estate or the facts in play. And so they're running up a bill for their clients without getting useful information back. We don't do that. So we would advise our clients whether we think inventory and appraisement is enough, or we need full-blown discovery, or we need some smaller amount of discovery. But we weigh that against what we think the client needs. So, a divorce is more expensive the more work your lawyer has to do on it. So that's a thing that we have to worry about, is how intense is the litigation that drives up the cost of the divorce. The other side of the finance coin is your living expenses, right? So most people have been living in a marriage where they've got two incomes coming into one household. Once we start the divorce and the parties separate and they separate their finances, now, generally speaking, each party is going to be expected to fund their own living. So that means you're going to be paying your own rent, paying your own utilities, paying your own car payment, paying your own insurance. And if you can't do that, there are some options available. And so we would need to look into your facts and see how much money is in the marital estate. Is it a situation where you're the breadwinner and the other spouse doesn't have enough money to pay for their living expenses, right? So what does that mean for your finances? So there's a lot of questions we have to look into, and it's very fact specific, right? There's not a big blanket statement out there that says husbands always lose half their retirement, or the wife always gets the house. That's not true. Here's what we do know: the marital estate is only so big. And so all we can do is divide what we actually have. And so when it comes to how you're going to live after the divorce, that's largely determined by what's in the estate to start with. So our job here at Youngblood Law is to help you get as much of your estate as possible so that when you move on to your new happily ever after, you've got money on hand to do that with. Okay? So keep in mind, as a rule, each party is going to be required to pay for their own living expenses. What if you've been a stay-at-home mom for a long time or a stay-at-home dad for a long time and you don't have any relevant work experience, or you go back to work and you find you a $10 an hour job? Does that pay for your rent? I don't know. It may or may not. You need to get with us and, or talk to your lawyer and figure out how you plan to survive. But here's a thing that we cannot get around, and I can't overemphasize this. There is no substitute for being self-sufficient. So our recommendation, if you are not employed, get employed. If you have a good job, keep that good job. Do not sabotage your job because you want to get out of paying child support or something like that. You keep the job you have. If you don't have a job, you need to go get one. It may not be your dream job, but you can get a job and flip into management or move from that one to a better one. But it's easier to find a job when you already have one. So if you've been unemployed for a long time, our recommendation is to go get work. There's no substitute for being self-sufficient, being able to pay your own bills. But if you can't pay your own bills in the short term, there's options out there in the family code that will help a party who can't really pay their living expenses get money from the marital estate to help pay. Presuming there's money in the marital estate, right? So there's a lot of things that are going on. You got to pay for your attorney, you got to pay for the legal case, but you also have to pay for your living during and after the divorce proceedings. So the finances of a divorce is a great place to get individualized, specific information made for you. Again, it's very fact specific. At Youngblood Law, we do offer an option that a lot of law firms don't offer. In fact, I don't know any other firm around here who does it. But if you want to schedule a divorce planning session, we're happy to do that for you. It's a 2-hour block of time with a licensed Texas attorney. It's not a sales talk. It's 100% confidential. It's 100% no obligation. And I will put 100% money back guarantee on it. If you don't believe you got value out of what we do, then I'll give your money back. But if you want to come in and talk to a Texas attorney about your facts specifically, about the finances of your divorce or any other topic or topics, we will schedule that time with you, sit down with you, analyze your facts, and you will leave with a plan and a course of action and be informed about decisions and how you need to make those decisions and what's best for you and your family. So reach out to us if you want a planning session. Right now, it's 2 hours for the price of 1 hour. Give us a call, or you find us on the web at divorceinnovation.com, and we look forward to seeing you. But just remember, friends don't let friends do their own legal work. And a corollary to that is friends don't let friends do all their legal research on the Google, okay? Because that's information that doesn't necessarily apply to you and your family, and we would recommend you get the information you actually need. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you soon. Have a great day.